Well, hello everybody. My name is Dean Gorrell. I'm the superintendent of the Verona Area School District. So I want to say thank you to FACTv for giving me a few minutes to tell you about our upcoming April 4th school referendum for the Verona Area School District. By now, you should have received a copy of this in your mailbox. We are referring to this as the fact sheet. So what's going to happen is we're going to cut away to portions of this so that you can actually see what I'm referring to. So the first, I'm going to open it up to this side. And we're going to take a look at this side primarily, as that's where there's a lot of data embedded in this, but that's where I'm going to spend most of my time with you today. So there are three questions that are going to be on the ballot that you see on April 4th, and two of them are related to construction, and one of them is related to operational. The first question is what we refer to as our base plan, and what that would do is construct a new high school on property that's owned by the school district on what we call the West End, and it's very near the intersection of West Verona Avenue and Epic Lane. So on the map that you can see there, you'll see it as a green dot, kind of at the point of that junction of Verona Avenue and what they refer to as Highway 18. So 2 years ago, we went to a referendum to exceed the revenue cap, or I'm sorry, to purchase that property, and that was voter approved by 2/3 to do that. So this new high school would have a capacity of 2,200 students, and it would be built to eventually have a capacity of 2,500 students. There will be a performing arts center, otherwise known as an auditorium, with this new facility. Also included in the base plan are renovations to our existing high school campus. That will become home to Badger Ridge Middle School and to Core Knowledge Charter School and perhaps additional charter schools. Also included in the base plan is our extensive renovations to Badger Ridge Middle School, Core Knowledge Charter School, and that will become the new home for Sugar Creek Elementary School. And then also this first question includes money for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and building envelope upgrades district-wide. We estimate the cost of this question to be $162.8 million, and we also estimate the impact, the tax impact, to be $42 per $100,000 of fair market value, above and beyond our current rate. So what this means is if you have a property that has a fair market value of $300,000, the estimated tax impact of this question would be 3 times 42, or $126, above and beyond the current rate, and that would go on for 20 years. So this would have a 20-year amortization payback schedule. That's question number one. Question number two is a much smaller amount. It's $18.5 million, and what this would do is it would construct a new swimming pool and competition athletic fields at the new high school. And so by competition fields, we mean soccer, lacrosse, football, probably all one facility with a stadium, lights, and restroom facilities, concessions, and so forth, and competition softball field and competition baseball field. And we estimate the tax impact of that question to be $37 per $100,000 of fair market value, above the current rate. So again, if you have a $300,000 home, the estimated tax impact would be 3 times 37 for above and beyond the current rate, and that would go on for 20 years. So those first two questions are with regard to building and facilities. The next question, question number 3, is for operational expenses. So we are asking the authority to exceed the revenue cap by $2.3 million for operational expenses related to these new facilities and grounds. This would be on a recurring basis, meaning that doesn't ever go away, that a portion doesn't go away. And what this would pay for is this, and I want to put this in perspective. So currently we have about 900,000 square feet of facility under roof. And the size of this high school is estimated to be 500,000 square feet, so we're roughly adding 50%, again, as much square footage. Also, we currently have about 200 acres of land that we take care of, lawns that we mow, and parking lots that we tend to. And this would add 108 acres to that. So again, adding about 50% again as much for the grounds. So the majority of this $2.3 million will go for additional maintenance and custodial staff. Also, though, we did include some dollars in here for increased in utility costs and transportation. We know that adding a building of 500,000 square feet, even though we're going to be taking the existing New Century and Sugar Creek offline, we'll see some savings there. We are still adding quite a bit of additional square footage, so there will be a cost for utilities there. And that reminds me that I didn't say that, I didn't make that very clear in the first question. With all these moves that we're anticipating, moving existing Sugar Creek Elementary School students to the renovated Badger Ridge, moving the Badger Ridge students to the high school, what will happen with our existing Sugar Creek and New Century schools is we will take them offline, and we'll no longer be using those as school buildings for children in the Verona Area School District. The last piece I want to cover is a little bit about the graph that you see on this fact sheet. So there's a bar graph showing what our tax rate has been over the last several years, starting back in 2012 and 13. The school board has been very intentional and strategic about where they set the levy rate. And over the last few years, the last 3 years in particular, they've been extremely aggressive in paying off existing debt. And just as you pay off debt early with your home mortgage, you save interest costs. And so our board has saved over $4.3 million in interest costs by being very aggressive in paying back and paying off debt. And what that has done, where that has positioned us is that with almost all of our debt falling off next year, and with the EPIC TIF coming online, it's opened up an opportunity for us to look at building, so that if you look at that bar graph, if you see the orange dot that shows the kind of the historic mill rate, and if you were to look at the bottom part of the dark blue bar, that represents a window of about $140 million worth of building before you would exceed the current tax rate. So again, the board's been very strategic about positioning us at this point, so that any building that we went to would see a minimal impact above and beyond our current tax rate. And so you can see the dollars associated with each of the questions, and again, it's above and beyond our current tax rate. But I want to be very clear, though, that without this referendum, you would see a pretty dramatic decrease in your property tax bill for the Verona Area School District. So we estimate that it might drop by as much as $2.50 per $1,000. So if you had a $400,000 house, for example, that'd be $1,000 less in your property taxes. So we want to be very transparent about the actual cost of this. And we've had people ask us, well, that seems like a potential savings there, and so which it is. The fact is, though, that we do have kids that are coming, and we're going to have to accommodate them in schools at some point in the future. And so, again, the board has been very strategic about placing us so that at this point in time, the tax impact above and beyond our current rate would be minimized. And so that's what they've tried to do. Some other information on here. On the flip side, you'll see that we've engaged in a number of different studies that looked at our growth and our housing unit projection growth, the facilities, the capacity, and again the timing of all of this. So what's really driving this is a couple of different things. First of all, the anticipated growth that we are going to have in the next 13, 14 years. We estimate by the year 2030 there's going to be an additional 4,400 new housing units in the Verona Area School District. And this is a combination of single-family homes, multifamily homes, duplexes, and townhouses, and so forth. And from that, we anticipate we'll get nearly 1,500 additional students in K through 12. So we need to be able to accommodate those. And interestingly, the larger portion of that by 2030 is actually going to reside at the high school. So we estimate nearly 700 students of that 1,500 will be at the high school. The other piece of this too is we do have two facilities in particular that are really aging and showing their wear, and it's Sugar Creek Elementary School and New Century School. So we've looked at that. We've looked at the potential of saving those schools. Their location and the traffic dynamic maybe doesn't make so much sense, and so that's why this plan includes taking those sites offline as they have reached many of their systems have reached their useful life, and they either need to be replaced or a new facility built. We've got a number of opportunities to learn more about this referendum, including a personal invitation from me to anybody who resides in our school district. If you want me to come visit a group of yours, either at your home or at your place of work, know that I'm more than willing to do that. We'll just ask that you contact me and we'll set up a time to do that. We want to make sure that people have the information with regard to this referendum, and whether that translates into a no vote or yes vote, we just want to make sure that our voters are informed on this, and so that when they go to the ballot on April 4th and you make your choice, you're making an informed choice. So I want to thank you for this time that we've had today, and again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please call me, email me, and I'll come visit you. I'll come have coffee with you, and we can talk about this referendum until you get all your questions answered. So thanks again to FACTv, and thanks to everybody in the Verona Area School District for your support of our schools.